So we all know with Facebook and Instagram ads, there's tons and tons of capabilities when it comes to targeting. You could target by demographic, you could target by interest, you could target by psychographic, you could target by tons and tons of things. But what is the most important metric when it comes to targeting for musicians? And that's what I want to go over in this video. What's up guys, it's Adrian. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and let's start a conversation in my comments. I would love to talk to you guys and answer any questions you guys have, so drop a comment below. So what I found is a lot of artists doing tons and tons of targeting. And when I say targeting, I see them putting tons of interest into one ad set. I see them putting one interest in one ad set. But there's actually something that's even more important than all of that when it comes to being an artist. So let's just jump right into it. Basically, I'm talking about location. As an artist, you want to target your location. You want to target within 5 to 15 mile radius of where you currently are, especially if your music is prevalent in your location. And that's because as an artist, people want to connect with you. If you look in the past, most artists, they started very small. They started niche and then they grew bigger and bigger and bigger from that small audience. Instead of targeting worldwide, it is very important for most artists. When I say most artists, I'm talking about 95% of artists. It's very important for you guys to start locally. People want to be familiar. People want to build relationships. People want to know who you are and where you come from. And if you come from a location where they're from, they're gonna more likely support you, be an advocate for you, and show you to their friends and peers. This is how you build virality in your local area. And then once you conquer your local area, you can start expanding to other wider areas. For example, say you're from Atlanta, Georgia, and you're a rapper. You don't want to start putting ads in New York or California. You want to start locally. You want to start conquering Atlanta and then expand from there to a wider and wider audience. My music, as you guys know, is techno music, melodic techno music. So when I was living in the US, I would target locally to that community, but I would also target in other countries because my music is more dominant in countries like Europe. So I would put my music in Europe and build a fan base in Europe. So what I'm saying is for you guys, if you live in an area where your music is not dominant or there's not a big audience for your music in your local area, then sure, yes, you can expand. Put your ads in other locations where your music is more dominant. I 100% agree with that. However, most of you guys are in genres where there's a big cluster of supporters or people who listen to that music in your current location. You may not even know that it exists, but if you test it out, you may find that there's a community and that community will support you because why? You're local and they can build relationship with you. They could say, hey, you're from my city. What I did was a little bit more drastic. Because I knew my audience lived in Europe, I actually moved to Europe. So basically what I'm saying to you guys is don't be afraid to move and change location and go places where your audience lives. For example, a lot of actors, they move to LA. That's because there's just so much more opportunity in LA. And a lot of Broadway artists, they'll come to New York because there's a bigger Broadway community here. Don't be afraid to go to locations or change location to where you have a bigger opportunity. Now, by targeting locally, you can really grow super fast because since there's a smaller audience, your ads will be put in front of these audiences more often. If you were to target a large area, so for example, if you were to target the entire US versus Atlanta, your ad will probably get seen once by one person and they will probably never see that ad again. However, if you target someone locally and it's a small community, then that person will see your ad over and over again and they will become familiar with you. Once you build familiarity, that's when word of mouth starts to pick in. If you're targeting locally, you're building a community around you who have more ways of relating to you because they know the environment, they know the area, so they know what it's like to grow up in that community. So to see someone make it or expand or grow or doing something interesting in a local area will more likely build a fan base. So instead of just talking to you guys about it, let me actually show you how to do this in Ads Manager. So let me take you to my computer. All right, so basically when you go and create a campaign, let's just say traffic for the sake of ease. So you go and create a campaign. Now, when you go to the ad set level, so for example, let's just go next to ad set. Now, when you're on your ad set level, what you do is under location, you can edit the location and you can literally put people living in this location and you can put in an address, literally any address. So literally when you pick an address, you can go as low as, all right, so this is an address in Minnesota. Sorry if this is your address, but this is an address in Minnesota. So you can literally go as low as 1 mile. So you can really target narrow. So you can become literally a figure around your neighborhood. So if you want everyone to hear your music within 1 mile, within 5 miles, you literally have the option to do that. Again, as I said, the lower the mileage, the lower the reach, the smaller the reach. So again, what I suggested was to target locally and then expand up. Start building a fan base where you live, and then from there you expand. So you can target an entire state. So instead of expanding to the entire US, you can literally just target the state you're in. Build fans in your state, build fans in your backyard, and then expand. So let's talk cost when it comes to advertising locally. Now, if you are in a big city where there's a lot of competition when it comes to ad space, then yes, it'll cost more. However, if you're in a small city and you are running ads locally, then you're not gonna spend that much when it comes to cost. Now, also the other benefit is you will convert more people. So although it may cost more, your conversion cost will cost less because of the specificity in messaging. So here's one more thing when it comes to targeting locally. When you target locally, that means that your ads may fatigue a lot faster. And basically what that means is people will see your ads more frequently, so it will start to fatigue. So the way around that is you have to create a lot more content when you are targeting locally. So if you guys want to target locally and test out this strategy, target 5 to 15 mile radius around where you are. That means you should have a couple of content already set aside to test and target this audience. So the more smaller your audience, the more frequent you have to change your content. So keep that in mind. So the last thing I really want to say about this topic is, look, you're an artist and you're trying to grow. The fastest way to grow is with a community. And the best way to build a community is to start locally. You start with friends, your friends will expand to their friends, and their friends will expand to their friends. Plus, when that happens and they're seeing your ads, they will start to associate you as someone of a status because they're seeing you online so frequently. So it's okay to start locally. Now, I'm not saying this strategy is for everyone, but for 95% of you guys, you should start locally and try to build a fan base locally before expanding into other audience. Again, what I did was I saw that most of my audience was in Germany. So I moved to Germany based on stats from SoundCloud and also Spotify. I saw that most of my audiences lived in Europe. So again, don't be afraid to change locations and go where opportunities are, because that's just the nature of the game. If you put yourself in places where opportunity are, then that increases your chances of getting more opportunities. So I'll leave you guys with that. If you found value from this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what you thought. I would love your feedback on this video. Also, let me know if you guys have ever tried this strategy before, and if you have, let me know the kind of results that you've been getting. Let's actually talk through this together.